Oh, shit. It's the happiest hour, everybody. How you doing? Welcome. 5:30 p.m. Central Time, 6:30 Eastern over there. Hopefully you're drinking a little bit early on the West Coast. Cheers, everybody. Put up your glasses. I'm, of course, Brendon Lemon. You know that because you're finding this on LinkedIn or Facebook or YouTube or Twitter or wherever else I've posted the live stream. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. I know we got a few people watching from around the area, and I wanted to just say I hope you're doing well. We're in 4 weeks into quarantine, 4 weeks in, and if you're like me, you're an extrovert, and you can't stand being alone this much. I'm just losing my mind, and I wanted to go ahead and put some time together to have a drink, ease the troubles, ease the difficulties, and say hello. So if you're out there, please put something in the comments. If you're on Facebook, if you're on LinkedIn, whatever you want to do, I hope you're drinking something. I hope things are going well, and you're here to talk with me and some of my guests. A little bit. I should say up front, I'm trying to weather the storm. I'm doing all of I'm doing Peloton workouts. I'm trying to keep my cardio up. I'm trying to stream the right things. You know, after getting through Tiger King, I feel like I've just been hitting the bottom of the barrel. I actually went crazy and actually watched the movie Cats recently. I watched Cats, and we'll probably talk about that with some of the guests on the show today. But let me tell you something about cats. Man, those cats are horny. Those cats are interested in, getting frisky. So here's what I'm drinking today. I just want to say we don't have any sponsors, but I want to talk about it. Bang! Traverse City Whiskey Company. If you're a whiskey drinker like all of the men in my family, Traverse City Whiskey is a great place to go. If you're in the state of Michigan, get up there, go to Traverse City, get some Traverse City whiskey. Mix myself up a little drink here. We got some Traverse City whiskey with a rich ginger beer and a little bit of ginger maple syrup from Trader Joe's. The line at the Trader Joe's, by the way, around the block, a little scary, a little frightening. I feel like we will talk about that a little bit. Hopefully, wherever you've been grocery shopping, it's been okay. Trying to stay 6 feet away. I saw a photo of a guy this week who has had 6 feet of piping around his head to make people stay 6 feet away. I feel like I exactly empathize with this guy because I think I have to have. I mean, how did people not know what 6 feet is at this point? You know what I mean? I read your dating profile, lady. I know you know what 6 feet is. You wouldn't date me for that reason. But I don't want to talk too much with just myself on here. I want to bring on this show was inspired by a couple of different people, both of whom are on the Happiest Hour today. So we're going to express the joy. That's the point of this show. You know what I mean? We're locked up. We're all dealing with COVID-19, and I feel like it's a time. You know, if you saw some good news with John Krasinski, this is a much less sexy version of that show. Basically, this is exactly what I'm going to try to do. The same thing as spread the joy. I kept this beard on because I think I just look like a jolly guy with it. And I want to make it happy for all you guys. I want to make you happy, and I want to bring on a couple of guests who helped inspire this show to happen. And what I'm very stoked about is to bring my main guest on. Are you ready over there? Oh, here we go. We're gonna bring on one of my best buddies in Chicago comedy. He's still getting his setup in. Give it up, Lancey Joe. There you are.
Here I am.
Dude, you look like a model, man. Look at this.
It's this light. This whole setup is about to fall in.
What do you? What? It's Lancey. What are you? What are you drinking today, man? You don't drink alcohol anymore, do you?
No. So I'm drinking Lipton caffeinated black tea.
Oh, buddy, that is the Traverse City whiskey of teas.
I've heard that's good stuff.
Dude, it is. It's absolutely it's some delicious stuff, is what it is. How
would you describe its taste?
Bitter.
Bitter.
Lancey, what are you doing to survive, man? You got. I feel like you kicked off this live streaming thing in Chicago. You went 24 hours, man.
I did. I went a 24 straight hour shift. And my life pretty much came unraveled at that point. At hour 23. So if you tune in, if you go back and look on my Facebook page at the 24th part of that series, or not series, it was one show. If you look at the 24th hour, you can see the emptiness in my eyes.
Rather than the beautiful baby blues we see staring at us now.
Yes.
You look like, what did you look like, Anakin Skywalker at the end of Revenge of the Sith? Staring out.
Did you say you watched Cats?
I watched Cats. Did you see it? Has anybody, I want you to comment if you watched Cats, by the way.
You know, Cats is the prequel to Tiger King.
I find it kind of ironic that show came out and just blew up. I don't know. I could not hear enough about Tiger King.
Yeah.
And then I went and watched, and then I thought, you know what? It's about time. I should go watch Cats. Let me tell you something. The music in Tiger King is better than the music in Cats. Yeah.
I oftentimes get those confused.
I mean, I understand why. They were both written by Andrew Lloyd Webber.
Well, did you know that in Tiger King, that's not really his voice? Not his speaking voice, but his music.
His singing voice. I knew what you meant, but that joke was so well delivered. I wasn't sure if you were making that joke about the fact that Cats was lip synced, or the Tiger King was lip synced.
You know, in Cats, those aren't actually cats.
There's a scene if you've watched Cats, there's a scene at the end of Cats that it's the funniest accidentally funny thing I've ever seen in a movie, and it's Judi Dench is just singing at the end of Cats, man. She's singing to she's breaking the fourth wall, which is weird because up until the end of the movie, the cats are all interacting with each other. They're singing to the cat Victoria.
Right.
And then at the end of the movie, Judi Dench just turns and looks right into the camera. Just like she's singing this direction and then just turns and goes right into the camera. And it freaked me out so much I started laughing out loud. I feel like Tom Hooper directed that movie as a joke or something.
It's confusing. I haven't seen Cat. Did you see the actual play?
No, I haven't seen the play. And it's funny because for such a famous play, until recently, I couldn't tell you what the hell it was even about.
Right. Yeah. Well, I knew it had something to do with felines. That song Memories, though. Memories, is that in the movie, too?
Oh, yeah. And it's sung by Jennifer Hudson. And here's the thing about this movie. It's really not very good. But I was moved almost to tears because of that. Because of that, her performance is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like the woman is. I mean, how can any of us compete with that level of talent? You know what I mean? She would succeed at anything. If she was cold calling, she would succeed.
Yes. If she was doing podcasts, she would do well.
She would open up singing with memories. And you'd be hooked. You'd be hooked. Lance, have you gone? Hold on, let me ask you this: have you gone grocery shopping? Have you gone to the grocery store since?
No, but my girlfriend works at Trader Joe's.
Laura works at Trader Joe's.
Yeah, so she is
a hero.
Do what?
A hero.
Yes, she's a hero. Here's the way that heroes go. You got nurses and doctors, of course, heroes. Firefighters, they're heroes all the time. Then you've got, and also in that group is grocery store employees, essential workers. And then at the top of that, you have people that are comedians who are doing stuff on social media at that. That's the upper echelon of heroics.
We're essential in that we're essentially working. That's all the time. And there's a faction of people playing Grand Theft Auto right now who are doing good work. You were just one of you were. So Lance, here's what's great about this. So Lance was late slightly. We were going to talk a little bit earlier to this and just kind of go through what we were doing. And Lance called me late because he was like, "Hey, I was in the middle of finishing a mission on Grand Theft Auto."
And this isn't even Grand Theft Auto 5 online. This is Grand Theft Auto Vice City that was released in 2002.
You know what you should do when you're playing Grand Theft Auto? When you're driving around all of those Grand Theft Auto streets, have a drink of Traverse City whiskey. One of my favorite things to do in college was play Beerio Kart. Did you ever play it?
No.
How you never played Beerio Kart?
Mm-mm.
Oh my god!
It's like a drinking game based on.
It's a drinking game. Yeah, you could. Here's how the game worked. You had to finish a beer and win the race. So if you won the race but didn't finish your beer, you automatically lost. But you could either drink or drive. You couldn't do both. So I couldn't drive and drink. I had to stop driving and then start drinking, and then I had to go back to driving. This, of course, is a video game. This show absolutely in no way endorses drinking and driving. You can either drink or drive, my friend. But anyway, Beerio Kart was this great game, and it was so much fun to play. And I won always. I was the first to finish a beer, but I almost never won the race.
Did you play Power Hour?
Oh yeah. Wait, so how did you play Power Hour?
That's what I was going to ask you. So we would play where you take a shot of beer every minute.
Mm.
So it would end up being like, I don't know, at least 3 or 4 beers.
At least 3 or 4 beers.
But it like
in an hour? That's
yeah.
You'd be done after that amount of time.
Oh
There's
yeah,
no way
for
you
sure.
could handle that much.
We were done. I mean, and it never gives your system never has a chance to recoup, because it's just more and more Coors Light. It just can't handle it. It's just.
Was Coors Light? Hold on, was Coors Light your drink of choice? Was that what you went for?
Yeah, back then, I think we thought that Coors Light was like the highest.
You were in college. It was always Keystone or Natty Ice. Holy shit, man!
Oh,
yeah. Oh, it was bad. At least, or in the Midwest, of course, you could also get. If you were really lucky, you could find Schlitz. which was, or Stroh's, which was the classic Detroit beer, was Stroh's. Yeah.
Is Stroh's made in Detroit?
Yeah, oh, it was. Yeah, for a long time. It was made in Detroit for a long time, and then they went. It was so crazy because when I was a kid, Stroh's was an ice cream company, and because during the Depression they switched to making ice cream, and then when I like turned 21 or 17, whatever age I was when I started drinking, I was suddenly like, oh shit, like wait, they make beer like the ice cream company.
Name recognition works.
Yeah, and you could do a Stroh's float, which was you bought the vanilla Stroh's ice cream and you poured Stroh's lager into it. And then you went to your high school graduation. That was probably the best drink.
A Stroh's float?
A Stroh's float, buddy.
Oh.
What were the drinking habits in Mississippi?
I wasn't really a big drinker, but
Mississippi. Lancey is from Memphis, actually. Pardon me.
Well, I was really raised in Mississippi, so that's a legit question. For those of you on my Wikipedia page right now, this will be cleared. I think so. I wasn't really a big drinker, but I did. I would. Me and my friends would play like quarters and stuff like that whenever we would have like poker night here and there. So it was just me and my close friends. I wasn't really wild. I did work in bars though.
Yeah, you're like a server bartender guy.
Yeah.
I should tell you, I'm interested in hearing. We got to talk to, when we have our guest Jeremy Miller on here in a couple minutes. We need to ask him about what the drinking habits of his native Canada are. He's a Canadian, and I always feel like every time so what we used to do in Detroit was go up to Canada. We would go over to Windsor, Canada, and get blasted, basically. And that at 19 years old, you could go and do that. But I'm always curious, sort of what that drinking tradition of another nation is.
You're talking about Mississippi, not Canada, right?
Yeah. I'm talking about south of the Mason-Dixon.
Well, I do have to say, when I was around 20, 21 years old, I was in a weird state, Mississippi. And no, so I guess, like, so we would kind of have like poker night. We'd have a few friends over. It never really got out of control. Every now and then we would get crazy and funnel a beer. Get wild. Did y'all funnel beers in Detroit?
You mean like a beer bong? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
A funnel of beer sounds like...
Oh, we've hit a cultural divide now on what you call this.
You funnel a beer? That sounds like you're offshoring parts of beer to like slush funds in Panama.
We got to liquidate all this beer. We've got a surplus.
we got all this. Liquidate all this beer. Oh man.
One time we were in Panama City, and
Panama.
Panama City,
Florida.
No, not Central America. We were in a third world country, Florida.
We were in a third world country, Mississippi. And
so we went to Walmart and we were like, hey, do y'all have any beer funnels? And the lady working at Walmart was like, no, we don't carry that anymore. You know what? Y'all don't need to be doing this because people are dying from alcohol poisoning. And we were like, but they sell like Everclear in this Walmart. And you're mad at us for funneling Coors Light? And she was like, anyway, we don't have any of that. We don't have any type of that.
Did she think it was like a collector, like you were looking for a funnel, like a collector that funneled down a wide area of beer into a tiny, straight into your. Is that what she thought?
I don't know what she was thinking, but she was like, "We don't have that, whatever it is that you're asking for."
Jesus Christ!
And we said, "Where's the automotive section?"
Oh my God! No, we'll go get we'll make our own beer funnel.
Yes,
that's the
Let's
kind
be
of
clear about this.
gritty, the happiest hour, buddy. Cheers! All right, we're gonna bring in our guest, Jeremy Miller. This guy, I love him. He's one of the inspirations for this show, so hopefully you're enjoying it. And I'm gonna call him up here in a moment. Let's just go ahead and pull this guy in.
Was shaking.
Jeremy Miller. Hey, there he is.
How's it going, boys?
It's going good. We're going to pull Lancey back in on this thing. I have a feeling this I have a feeling Skype decided to switch on over on me.
Conferences, it's like not happening.
Yeah, this thing really, I just got to tell you, this we're limited, so I should tell the audience as they're watching this happen live. We're limited by our technology. First of all, you're looking great, man. You're doing. I feel like you're weathering better than anybody else. I feel like you're weathering the fucking.
The fucking. Yeah. What else can you call it? It is truly the fucking. I don't know. Things are good. You're working from home, doing the same old, same old. I don't know. It's not that terrible, is it?
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not that bad. I feel like. I will say this: it's hard to stay really positive most of the time.
So in between bouts of depression and crying, you're feeling good?
In between bouts of depression and crying, I'm feeling mostly okay. So Lancey and I were just talking about. There he is. There we go. We got Lancey on board.
Hey,
bang! Hey, now we're all here. Sorry about that, Lancey. There was some technical issues.
Technical malarkey and hubbub going on.
You guys can all hear each other, right?
Yep.
All right,
yes.
Perfect. So, so Jeremy, we were just talking about what drinking was like growing up, and I'm curious. You're Canadian. Mm-hmm. You're in Metro Toronto right now, basically, right?
Yep. Yeah, just outside of
so what
Toronto.
Is that? What was the drinking culture like a little bit when you were coming up? When you were a young buck?
Professional. Let's see if you can keep it down. Just swallow, buddy.
Oh my God, that was that. This is why. I tell you what, man. This is why they pay you the big bucks.
Oh yeah. And I don't even have a comedian job. I don't know. We're Canadian.
Neither do we right now.
Yeah.
So, did you ever watch Strange Brew back in the day?
Yeah.
That's Canadian culture.
So describe for the audience what Strange Brew is. Basically, what it is.
So Strange Brew is a classic SCTV film. Got to come back from the 70s, early 80s. Like it's ancient, but it's basically making fun of Canadian culture and saying A and hoser a lot. And it's about two brothers who basically take over. Imagine two beer drinking hosers mixed with Austin Powers. And it's like some crazy story of how evil empire's taken over the beer factory and they've got to save it.
Oh man. Hoser's a real Canadian word. This is an actual word that Canadians use.
I guess like 30 years ago.
Right. Pardon me, man. So as I was telling the audience a little bit, you were an inspiration for this show that came together such that it is. And it's funny because you and I had the talk on my podcast last week, and you were like, "Yeah, man, just put something together, get something going." And I was happy to do it, and I'm glad to have you on today. Jeremy Miller, and I should describe for the audience, amazing man, came up. This is now your third 1, 2, 3 economic depressions that you not only have shot through, but you are growing your business during. And I was honestly, man, every time we talk,
I'm really old.
You don't look it, admittedly. You look good. You look good. You look like this is actually. I should tell the audience this is actually Daniel Craig's stunt double, and and no, but Jeremy has been. Every time I talk with you, I'm excited. I feel like you're a really positive. You're a good positive influence on me. And I wanted to have you on the first episode as you have, inspired it. And plus, actually, strangely, for as often as you and I talk, this is the first time I'm actually seeing you. So
I know, like we've gone beyond our emojis on text to like a protein form, sort of.
I know, right? We've gone so far beyond dick pics. So
it is handsome, though. Like I gotta say, I show it to all my friends.
Well, I tied a bow tie on it.
We just tend to spiral a little bit.
This podcast brought to you by Traverse City Whiskey.
You're going to get a cease and desist letter of, excuse me, we really appreciated this at the start of this show, but can you now just not include us anymore?
That probably is. Yeah, you're right. I should be very careful. No, so I should tell the audience. So Jeremy is the author of 2 books, 2 fantastic books. Brand New Name, which is your most recent book, and then Sticky Branding, which is the moniker of your marketing organization, who's doing great work in the world and growing, I should say. So it's been very interesting to talk with you, and I wanted to invite you on. We're gonna obviously have a lot of like giggles and laughs and stuff because I knew that having you and Lance on would be a ton of fun. But also, I should say, you've got in only a few days, in about 6 days, you've got so next Monday, I think, right? You've got a in-service coming in for crisis marketing and how to grow your business during COVID-19. So if you want to talk about that for a second, I would love to hear about it. I'm sure some of the audience members would too.
I just appreciate you putting me on the spot after I shit canned it.
No, did you really? No, you didn't.
Yeah. We were actually postponing it to post-quarantine time. We were just getting hate mail.
I was looking forward to taking it.
I had a free ticket today for you. You still will when we eventually get this thing going. No, we were literally getting people saying you're being opportunistic, you're taking advantage of people, and that wasn't ever the case. So from Lance's background and everyone else listening, what I've been doing is working with business owners, helping them navigate the crisis by rapidly finding new customers and markets. And we wanted to go down market and just create an opportunity for a lot of people to participate. But what we found, just from talking to people, was they're not ready yet. People are still stuck in this state of crisis, this panic. They can't. And many of the people that were really interested in signing up, they're like, you know what, we're still trying to figure out how to get our check from the government, and so and so just timing was off, and so we'll still do it, but we've decided not to do it on April 20th. We'll do it in maybe June.
Got it. Well, all right, that. Fair
but
enough.
I appreciate the plug. But
well, stay tuned.
I thought I could explain why I got to can a marketing and business program just on public live streaming. That's really fun.
Hey, it's all the benefit of being friends with me, buddy. I'm disappointed to hear that only because I was really looking forward to it, and I know you had a bunch of people signed up for it. So hopefully this pans right back out when you have it in June. But it's interesting because let's talk about that for a second. I've been watching news reports about how the Canadian government is amazing at handing out crisis cash to all the people who have been applying, and the American government has not so much. So it's interesting because all these reports are you just go on, make a couple clicks, it's in your bank account in 5 minutes.
Yeah, we have a central government. It's all organized at the federal side, whereas I'm not sure what yours is.
Well, I don't. At this moment, I don't even know if we know what ours is.
No, it's I don't know. That I guess that's the benefit of having a lot of bureaucracy and Justin Trudeau. Things happen, but I'm not sure. Like it is still surreal. Like a lot of people are suffering. Like the fact that people are getting their checks is it's great, but it kind of sucks too when you think about it. Like wouldn't you rather work?
Yeah, I think depending on your job, I feel like I would much rather be doing comedy. I would much rather be on stage. Although, I mean, obviously this is a ton of fun, but I feel like the live
The paycheck?
Right. Lance, have you I'm just curious, have you applied? Did you apply for the whole thing?
For what? Canadian payments?
We're very generous. You should try.
Yeah, they're very nice people for the PPP or whatever that the American government set up.
Are you talking about the unemployment?
Yeah.
Yes. And I've gotten paid for that.
What, did you really?
Yeah.
How did it? What did it just came through? Illinois maybe was ahead of the curve, I should say.
Right. I guess so. I know most of my coworkers at the restaurant I was working at have been paid. As far as that's concerned, but the stimulus check I haven't seen hide nor hair of.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I feel like that $1,200, man, when it comes, that's a lot of rolls of toilet paper.
Right. That's a lot. So I'll be looking forward to that. I don't know. I guess if you're doing direct deposit or something, that there's some sort of hold up with that. Or, I don't know. It'll go into your account quicker if you do direct deposit, apparently. But some of this is a lot of rumors going along about this.
Yeah, the misinformation is kind of amazing. It's like it blows my mind that there's so little that's like actually known in this entire situation. So that's why I started this podcast, really, is because I thought we could deliver the real news to people.
Yes.
So, Jeremy, I should ask, what are you drinking over there in Toronto?
I've got scotch. It's incredibly pretentious. I've actually ran out of base liquors, so I'm down to like whatever's left now. So this is a Glenlivet 25.
A Glenlivet 25, buddy. Oof, that's pretty good.
So actually, I'll show this. It comes in a crazy box with like doors and stuff on it.
Wow.
Hold it closer to hold it slightly to your left. There we go. Ooh, what?
It's like
this is what you hand. This is what you hand over at your daughter's wedding. That and a few goats is part of.
Yeah,
the
this
dowry.
is like my daily drinking now. Like whatever. Like I'm not suffering. What is everyone complaining about in coronavirus? It's great.
I love this, by the way. Jarrell Scott Barnes just said Brendon Lemon looking like a musketeer.
So are you gonna start doing the handlebar wax and like start grooming this thing?
Yeah, I gotta put some wax on this guy. It's getting close, I have to admit. I thought about getting rid of it, and and then I thought, why not? We're stuck in this entire situation. I think I'm also gonna grow out a man bun up here. I feel like what other time am I gonna have an excuse to be this unkempt? You know?
It's not like you can go to the hairdresser, so a man bun is probably going to happen regardless. I think the real question's for Lance. Do you think he should grow a yeard?
What is that?
A yeard? Just don't shave for a year. It's a year-long beard. A yeard.
I would do it.
Yeah.
I can't grow facial hair, so I would think that would be a good idea. But Brendon, have you done a yeard yet?
I have not done a yeard, and if I did, it would be nuts. Here's a quick story. Is that I went into last year. So Lance has known me for a little while. I've had a beard a couple of different times. Once a year, maybe I grow out a beard like this, and I go into the barber shop, and I walk in, and they're like, "Yeah, we what are you looking to do?" I'm like, "Trim the beard up a little bit."
They were like, you must be lost.
This ain't a salon. So so this guy's like, so what do you he's like, is this how your beard normally is? And he like gives me this like look like and he's like getting his hands like on my beard, he's like touching me and shit. I'm like, what are you doing? He goes, this is how your beard normally is? And I'm like, yes. And he goes, so not thick, not full. Hey, man, why don't you just say I got a tiny dick, too? I don't understand. Like, why we're already, what, not thick, not full?
That's not thick. Jeez. That's the manliest thing I've ever seen. I can smell the scotch on y'all.
So as he was touching it, did he then finish with, I'm feeling engorged?
If you can fit, there's a challenge to my audience right now. All 20 of you. If you can fit the word engorged into normal conversation, I will have you on this show. And, and I'll bump your butt, and you can ask Jeremy. This is a big time bump. So
it's significant to be on primetime television.
Yeah, right. It was one of the most. I don't think I ever went back to that barber. I was like, I'm not thick, not full. Come on.
Well, he knew how to emasculate you on day one, so maybe that was his sales tactics. Like, we just like get you set up and like, really, this is how you exist in your life, and you haven't talked to me yet.
That's exactly.
Let me change it.
The big book of Barbary opens with step 1: emasculate your client. Let him know who's boss.
Yeah. Just let him know the shame that is on his face.
So what are you guys? Are you gonna cut your own hair? What are you doing for quarantine?
I usually go to the barber once or twice a month.
But so you haven't been in weeks.
Yeah, I go frequently. So now I'm kind of. I guess I'm just going to experiment with letting it grow. I don't have really a choice. Maybe I'll shave my neck, like in the back.
I think that's what we all need is when our neck hair is thicker than our head hair.
Are you, Jeremy? You're not going to the barber, are you? Are you? What do you? I mean, what are the rules in Ontario right now? Can you go out, or is there like a or is the whole country on lockdown like this?
So they announced yesterday that we're locked down in Ontario for another 28 days until middle of May.
What? Whoa.
So they're going on like that. So yeah, I haven't been to and first things first, I don't go to a barber. Like, I'm not letting a dude touch my head. Like, it's not on the table. Like, unless there's like, there's standards here. So I'm going to a salon, and so yeah, I haven't been there in a while, and I'm really kind of scared of like the disaster that's going to be like in 8 to 12 weeks where. Like, what do you do? Like, is it just baseball caps and meetings?
I've literally been wearing a baseball cap, the same baseball cap, for 5 weeks.
Yeah, it's funny. Like, I'm looking at my hat was upside down today, and it's like the ring of like sweat. I'm like, ew, this is getting a little filthy. But where do I go to get a new hat?
I can't. Yeah, right. What do you think? You're gonna go to Amazon? Are they gonna send it? Are caps essential? I don't. Oh man.
But the funny thing is, like, so I went and I was trying to like get some like sweaters and stuff. I'm like, it's not like I'm gonna put on a jacket and a tie or something. Well, Lance is, so, but I'm not dressing up for my clients.
Lance is a fancy man.
So yeah, like, I'm trying to like do e-commerce shopping, and it's just like, this is such a pain in the butt.
I love how serious you got when I insinuated that you went to a barber, by the way.
I did that once, man. I went to like get my beard trimmed, and like it was just way too much face touching and like bending my ears the wrong ways. I'm like, just like, this is just atrocious. I don't even know how guys tolerate this kind of thing.
I had never been. I grew up going to like salons, you know, and
yeah.
And then it's funny because when I put it like that, it does sound like I'm communicating something. So, so I went to a barbershop for the first time in college, and it was like it was amazing. I hung out, I talked sports with a bunch of dudes for like an hour. I got my hair cut. I drank a beer in the barber chair. I made out with a couple guys. It was a great experience from beginning to end.
Yeah. And beard to beard kissing is a thing now.
The difficulty is when it gets tangled in the other beard.
But isn't that a gift? Like, then you just get to stay a little bit longer. You can linger.
That's why you have to oil it.
This is going down a terrible track.
You know what? I like it. I think it's exactly what my day needed.
So I gotta say, the funny part of us talking is, like, I have this like sticky branding persona that rarely cracks. Every time we crack or we talk, it just.
Is that true? Is that true?
100%. Yeah, 100%.
There's
no swearing or like the fucking or talking about dudes making out with oil on their face. Like that's behind the scenes conversations that you've managed to bring public. Thank you.
You're welcome. I got to tell you, Jeremy, you're such a fun guy to talk to. I think you're such a professional. Also, and I feel like I guess it's a special quality of mine that I can cause people to, let their hair down, so to speak.
Just that neck hair, right?
before you shave it.
Yeah.
So Lance and I were talking earlier about Cats. Any way you saw that movie?
No.
Yeah. Would you? What would it take? Here's another question to ask. What would it take to get you to watch Cats?
Money. The other one I'm not watching is Tiger King. Like I looked at the preview of that, I'm just like, nope, that is gonna make me stupider than I'm willing to tolerate.
So what are you streaming right now? What do you aside from the massive amount of work that you are somehow able to get done in this situation, what are you doing to pass the time? What are you watching?
I've been binge watching Power on Stars.
I heard. What is the show about? Yeah, what is the show about?
It's like a drug. It's like Sons of Anarchy or that kind of premise, where it's a bunch of drug dealers and gangsters that can't handle their own shit and cause their drama for themselves every episode.
It's like Grand Theft Auto Vice City, right?
Yeah, that's it. Nailed it. So it's like in that realm of like mindless, like, oh, look at the drama they've caused for themselves, and there's a whole lot of like sex scenes with like they've taken like Game of Thrones nudity and then just upped it a little.
What? How did I not? I saw an ad for the show. I saw an ad for this show on the subway, and I was like, "What is this?" It's in its what, 6th season or something? Like they
it ended.
Oh my gosh, man! I gotta go. I need to get Stars because I would get even less done during the day, just binging all of these shows.
And it's actually, so I'm only at like season 3, but it hasn't got like crappy like Suits or all the other ones that you watch like 2-3 seasons and it suddenly turns into like the worst television on earth. I'm still semi-entertained, but it could be I'm really bored. So I don't know. I'm not sure what's going on yet. But no, like my goal in this crisis is to see if I can watch Netflix without watching Tiger King. That's just not an option.
Oh man, yeah. So is it the white trashness of it, or is it the hurting animals?
I love Shameless. Like that. If you're gonna go watch white trash, then that's cool. I don't know. I think it's the documentary style things that drive me nuts. It's just like, this is way too boring, or not even boring. It's just too much drama to see that side of society. Like I don't need that kind of stupid in my head right now.
Yeah. It does feel, it's strange to watch a show because it feels like you're doing meth while you watch the show. Like,
so is your teeth rotting in there?
Man, the whole body's falling apart during this quarantine. Are you guys staying fit? I should ask. Lance is I've always thought has been a rather fit dude, and I know that you used to play football and all kinds of stuff. What are you doing? Are you guys doing anything to stay fit during the quarantine?
I do some yoga here and there. That's about it. But it's not a lot. Not a lot. I need to go on a jog or something, get my heart rate going. Watch Tiger King again and get my heart rate. Go to the barber shop. Get that heart rate spiked.
Oh, why are you so sweaty? Oh, just watching Tiger King. I ran 6 miles the other day and felt like I had it's amazing. Like I went for a walk and I walked like 3 blocks and I was like, this is the farthest I've been from my house in like a month.
Started getting scared.
Yeah,
how do I get back?
Yeah, I don't know where I am. Like, tried to stop and ask a stranger for directions and they just ran away. Like it was.
Well, you find when you were doing your run, like people like go to the other side of the street, or like this is the cool part of social distancing. You walk outside, you run. People like clear a path for you. It's like you're royalty.
Admittedly they do. It's kind of strange. Like you're like if I'm out, it feels like people are like, oh, this guy's he's really doing something. Better watch out. This guy's got an agenda.
Mm-hmm. You might sneeze on me.
It's part of the reason. Yeah, it's part of the reason I left New York. Actually, was nobody in New York was social distancing. I don't think people in New York know what 6 feet is. Like nobody was moving away from each other. Nobody was doing any of these things, and that's why I was like, I gotta get out of here, because it was impossible to go outside without feeling like you were on top of someone else.
God, yes.
What'd you say?
I said God, yes.
That's what we pay for. That's what we pay that rent for.
Yeah. The social distancing is, I try not to go outside in general because I feel like everyone's outside now. This is the opposite effect of what they were trying to cause by telling everybody to stay inside. Everybody's like, well, I need to go out and take a walk. I have to do that for my mental health. Meanwhile, there's families of 16 people walking around. Meanwhile, those people wouldn't see each other for years at a time on a normal basis.
That's what I wouldn't have met my neighbors if it wasn't for this.
Yeah.
I was outside. Everybody's on their back deck. It was like 70 in Chicago the other day. Like, everybody was outside. I went for a walk at 9:30 p.m. and there was like 100 people walking around Sheffield. Is this what's happening? Are people even able to go out in Ontario, or is there super restrictions like the state of Michigan right now?
No, you can go out and walk. Like I go out. One of my routines is go for like a 3-4 mile walk every day and try and like just de-stress. But there's lots of people out, but all the parks and everything are closed. So like what I really want to do is get my mountain bike out and go ride. But like I don't know, you can't do it. Like supposedly trees are like the number one carrier of COVID. So like.
Trees are a real vector for this virus. Yeah,
I think I heard Trump say that. I think I heard that.
That makes it true, right? He's doing a really great job.
I don't know about that.
The trees, the real vector for this virus. Oh, people say it all the time. Some people are saying it. I'm not saying it, but some people are saying it.
How often do you get that into your routine?
Oh my! I don't ever do that on stage because comedy's dead. But I don't ever do an impression of Trump really on stage. But I love doing it so much in conversations. Like I love talking to people and being like, he has some speech patterns that are so. It's like weird. It reminds me of George W. Bush a little bit because George W. Bush had very specific speech patterns. Like he spoke in like short, terse sentences that like if he had and if a word had more than 3 syllables, there was no way George W. Bush was going to get through it. Like he would. I have no idea what his SAT verbal is, but it could not be good. And
he was speaking in iambic pentameter. You uncultured piece of shit.
It was a nice.
We understood that south of the Mason-Dixon. Yeah. But George W. Bush, very specific. Trump has a very specific, like if you read something that said it's the best, it's all the best, people are saying it's the best. Over there, another one, pretty good, but not as good. This one, the best. Like, he just, like, he has to circumscribe everything he says through this weird Mount Everest, tall mountain, Mount Rainier, also big. Like, what?
It'll be awesome in history books 20, 30 years from now, children learning this was the speech that changed it all during the pandemic. The Daily Presser. This is the words of comfort that was told to millions.
Like right next to Franklin Delano Roosevelt's fireside chats.
Yeah, well, they're both literate, I think.
They're both literate. It's a pretty low bar to clear for Donald. I had an argument with somebody the other day, and they said, and look, regardless of your politics, like I think it's really funny because this, whether or not you like the guy, this criticism I thought was hilarious. Where somebody said to me, I said, "Man, this is really like he could not have managed this worse if he had tried." And somebody was like, "Well, you think you could have done a better job?" And I was like, "No, but I didn't run for the job." Like, it's not like nobody hired me to do that, you know? I don't that criticism just sounded hilarious to me.
Some people rise to the challenge, others don't.
I guess so, man. Speaking of rising to the challenge, I got nothing to follow that up with, actually.
You're just feeling engorged. It's all good.
Oh, my God. Bam, it comes full circle. Jeremy Miller,
challenge taken.
Thank you so much for joining us, man. I feel like I should let you get back to your otherwise very productive schedule. I'm
so glad you had me here today. It's so fun to chat with you guys. It's always giggles.
It was a good time. I had a guy. It was a lot of fun, man.
Yeah, always.
I feel like we should keep a regular a regular conversation schedule going moving forward. And
I got nothing but time. It's COVID, right?
It's COVID. We're just a bunch of COVIDiots right now. I'm speaking for myself. Brought to you by Traverse City Whiskey Company. Okay. Jeremy Miller, thank you so much. I encourage everybody to please go check out my much more lucid interview with Jeremy Miller on the podcast. The Madness Continues. Talks about, especially when you talk about your most recent book, Brand New Name, which you can see behind Jeremy in the shot there. It's a fantastic book. I read it cover to cover, and it's why I'm actually changing my name officially to Rafe Cortez. So thank you so much, Jeremy. And where can people find more about you, follow your business, and check you out online?
If you Google Sticky Branding, you'll find me. I'm stickybranding.com and all the social networks at Sticky Branding.
Heck yeah. Thank you so much, Jeremy. Take care.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. See ya.
Bye. Woo! There we go. Lancey, back to you and I, buddy.
Oh, man. He was nice.
Jeremy's a great guy.
Yeah.
I truly knew we'd have a lot of fun with him on this thing. So what's next for you, man? What's going on for you for this evening, and what do you got going on to pass the time this evening? You going live again on your show?
Yeah, I think we're gonna go live. So yeah, if you want to call in later, I'll take a call from B Lemon.
We got B Lemon up behind B Rabbit from Detroit, Michigan.
So is Detroit, or not Detroit, but I was going to ask you, is Michigan like is it a red state?
It's typically a blue state, but a lot of people, last election, pardon me, it flipped over. It went to Trump, yeah.
Oh. What in the hell?
Whoopsie.
Is it because of Kid Rock?
You know what? Did we talk about this before? If he ran for office, people would elect him in Michigan. People love that guy in the state of Michigan.
How do you feel about him?
I love him, man. I would vote for him.
Would you really?
Yeah, I would vote for him. Why not? What do you got to? How much worse can it get? You know.
That's the attitude we all need to adopt.
He's chilling the most. Have you heard "Only God Knows Why"? The man has a soul.
Dude, that is a great song. That is awesome.
Here's the thing. He's had, I don't know, 4 hits. Would you say 4 hits maybe? And his whole career's been on that.
Yeah. Well,
I would
3 of those were from that first album.
Yeah, right. They were all but that album hit so hard when it hit.
Yeah.
Like the guy dropped it. You guys didn't listen to him down in in Tennessee, did you?
Yeah, yeah.
Really?
I saw him live in 2001 and it blew my mind.
Oh my, what? Well, that was when that was not a couple years after.
Actually, it might have been 2000. It might have been 2000 or when did that album come out? 99?
Well, the original one came out in 98, I want to say, 98, 99. Like, it was a big deal when it came out, man. Devil Without a Cause was like a huge... Does anybody... Make some comments. Do you guys listen to this? Do you listen to that album still? It changed the way music was kind of going for a minute.
Yeah, it was... I guess it's one of those early... mixture, whatever they call it, the
rap
and
like
yeah. And now he's gone kind of more, I guess, country.
Well, he did that thing with Sheryl Crow, right? And that was like the big.
Oh,
that was like a huge hit.
Yeah. So people still, or I assume, but when I would do a karaoke night when I was DJing, I mean, people would sing that 2-3 times a night.
Really?
Yeah.
Not Werewolves of London?
His other hit, Werewolves of London.
Where he crossed over Sweet Home Alabama and Werewolves of London?
I had a friend that was a musician that absolutely destroyed him as an artist. Because he was like, you can't do that. You can't use the same exact song.
It's like, that's so funny, man. We were trying different things. We were smoking funny things. Here's the thing about it. People love to shit on Kid Rock, but like that is so. If you go up to northern Michigan, you could hear if Memorial Day is open and people are traveling, you could hear that song being played in earnest that weekend.
Not ironically.
Not ironically. Not Woodland Hipster is playing that song in Michigan. That's people who have a igloo cooler full of badass beer and probably Milwaukee's best.
Do hipsters know? I think hipsters don't know that they're hipsters. Is that true?
They're the only group of people who won't self-identify. That's true.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not gonna see a lot of people out there. Oh, did you see that Bernie Sanders endorsed Biden?
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I saw Bernie drop out of the race, but I thought there's no way he's going to endorse Biden.
Oh, Bernie dropped out? I thought that was a poor move to do.
Wait,
like, what is he thinking?
He's still in the race, but endorsing his opponent? Real poof. 4-dimensional chess. Oh my God, man!
I heard a fact the other earlier today. I heard a fact from my team of researchers here in the house that the top states that are that have handled the coronavirus most effectively.
Yeah.
Not states, but countries across the world.
Yep.
That have handled it the best have had female leadership.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That doesn't surprise me at all. that I feel like, not to rely on old stereotypes, which will probably preclude me from ever running for public office in the future, but I feel like women are better at dealing with this than men are genuinely. Like,
yeah, but not 75-year-old men. All right, they're on the next level. 75-year-old men are like nimble, quick.
You ever seen a 75-year-old man do parkour?
No.
Nimble.
Yeah, you can't see him. You blink once, you'll miss the whole thing.
That's true. He'll shatter. That's quick. I saw a 75-year-old man do a backflip off of a fire hydrant once.
How old is Trump, by the way?
100? I don't. The guy is too old. Let's just put it that way. Too old for. When are the baby boomers? We're just gonna let them go. They gotta get done with holding office and telling the rest of us what to do. I prefer if they casually bowed out about now. Let the Gen Xers and the millennials have a shot at doing anything in this country.
Well, they need to get out and vote if that's what they want.
By the way,
they have to pull people, older people go out and vote regardless, hell or high water. They're out voting.
That's true. Did you see the Wisconsin primary? Tons of people out.
Yes. Yeah, even more than regular.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, we can break quarantine. Let's get out there and vote.
You better believe I'm going to wait in a line that wraps around a high school 3 times. I would way rather do that than spend more time with my family. What a completely bizarre. This is the most bizarre situation that I think I've ever been in. But, we got to make the best of it. I feel like, and some cool shit is happening, admittedly. You did the 24-hour live stream. You've been doing the live stream all the time. By the way, I should say we have an answer to the question, when did Devil Without a Cause come out? And it came out in 98, it turns out. Also, Trump is 73, FYI. That one's coming from superfan Erna Sofia all the way over in Reykjavik. Feta retast.
And Biden, you know how old he is?
Jesus, I don't even want to. Let me look that up. That sounds scary, to be perfectly honest. I mean, the dude is gonna get the endorsement probably. Joe Biden age.
Oh, surely.
I love that the number one thing that pops up when you search Joe Biden is Joe Biden age. 77, turns out. How many more octogenarians can we possibly have run this organization? I don't know.
Octogenarian. Do they have 8 legs? I didn't even know that.
He's got 8 legs and 2 hearts. His name is Joe Biden. That's why he's Biden, is he's got 2 hearts. 1 heart for you, 1 heart for whatever woman he's talking to. God damn it. What a wild time. Lancey Joe, thank you so much for joining me today on the Happiest Hour. And thank you, by the way, for joining me on the Happiest Hour. We're going to be here tomorrow through Friday, 5:30 p.m. Central, 6:30 Eastern, all the way to 3:30 Pacific. We want you to grab a drink, join us. We're going to have different guests every day. Me and Lancey are going to be talking, having a good time. We want to hear about you. What are you doing to stay sane? What are you doing to help pass the time? What are you doing? What are you drinking? That's what I really want to hear. And take it easy, everybody. Lancey, do you want to sign off for us today?
Thanks for stopping by, y'all.
Peace. Thank you guys so much.